Well, Lynn, let me bring you back in. On the broader humanitarian situation on the ground, you've obviously covered this over the last year, but also in the years when you were living there. What's your sense of the additional steps that the international community could sort of take to make more of a difference?
It's very difficult to, that's a really difficult question to answer, I think. There's been an awful lot of revisionism in the last year, um, with people wanting to believe that the Taliban takeover has made things terrible, whereas they were pretty terrible under the Republic as well. Afghanistan was one of the poorest countries in the world. Its government was one of the most corrupt. Even before the collapse of the Republic, the UN agencies were predicting 11 million people would be facing hunger and children would die last winter. The Taliban have made that worse, of course, because they don't know how to run an economy and they don't seem to be trying. And even though there are um, uh, attempts to say that they're much more efficient and much less corrupt, for instance, at collecting taxes at the borders, that money isn't going into feeding people, creating jobs, developing an economy where people have the hope that things will get better tomorrow. So what could be done is, I would say probably a first step would be get moving on the negotiations for the release of 100%, not just 50%, but 100% of the $9 billion of Afghanistan's foreign reserves. There has to be a way of making sure that that money can reach Afghan people. It belongs to Afghan people, and it's being held really as like the Afghan people are being punished for the Taliban being in power. I think that could be step one. You have to get money flowing so that business people, Afghans are natural business people. Let's give them the wherewithal to pay employees, buy in supplies, and really get the economy moving. What I found when I went there was, you know, like everything had stopped. There was no commercial activity at all. Bread prices had tripled. People queuing up at the very rare functioning construction site for as day labourers. No cars on the streets because petrol is unaffordable, and the Taliban have stolen cars owned by private citizens. It's a really dire situation, and it's another reason, to go back to the last question, that I think that it's unsustainable. And one of the diplomats who's long term there suggested to me there could be food riots. There could be mass demonstrations against the humiliation of the poverty that people have been plunged into. I think money is the answer, but not money piecemeal or conditionally. Give Afghan people their money back.